Hello and welcome to Lesson 8. Lesson 8 again, we're covering and just about finishing the unit that is social influence. More specifically, we're going to be continuing our focus on de-individuation. We're going to be looking at how dispositional factors affect collective behaviour. So two things under Lesson 8, social influences, that's disposition, de-individuation, and how do dispositional factors affect collective behaviour. We are going to be using for today's lesson, we're going to be using pages, I'll get there in a second for you, 118 and 119. And what I would like you to do is take notes on these pages and take notes as well on the narrative that I'm about to deliver to you on de-individuation. If we can recall what de-individuation is, so it's almost, for example, we lose one's selves, we lose one's individual, we lose our individual, if you like, our identity, our values, our beliefs, and they very much get hijacked by the mentality of the group. And we said if the mentality of the group is such that it is violent and aggressive, we may well adopt that particular mood, but a group, we shouldn't always perhaps be deluded by the fact that it is to do with antisocial behaviour. Psychologists have looked at de-individuation in terms of pro-social behaviour as well, and if the group is happy and jovial, then again, even if the individual is not generally those things, then actually they will often, again, their values and beliefs, etc., will get hijacked essentially by the group. It has been found that when people are in crowds, they look to those around them to guide their own actions. So they adopt the mood of that crowd and change their behaviour accordingly. So if the crowd is joyful, you've got it, people joining it will, guess what, also be really happy. If, on the other hand, it is a hostile mob, the people joining it, of course, will become rather angry. If, as a result, they behave in a kind of an antisocial way, such as shouting abuse at people, they're less likely to be punished. Why? Why were they less likely to be punished if they are in a group? And I think the answer to that is, of course, they will experience relative anonymity. If you like, they are almost secret within the group. Not that they cannot be punished, but they are less likely to be, because they're less likely to be found out. And that is one reason why de-individuation happens. They interviewed in the 2011 summer riots in London. It wasn't just London, it was most major cities in England. They interviewed a lot of young people who looted during the riots in London in 2011, and they found that they got involved because they felt, to quote them, swept along by the crowd. And it was interesting, it's just a classic example of de-individuation even. They could see other people getting away with antisocial behaviour and felt almost, not invincible, but certainly anonymous. So they joined in too. And this is the one reason why de-individuation can lead to antisocial behaviour. De-individuation can also occur in other collective situations. For example, when people behave like the group they are in rather than as an individual. When people join a group, they're expected to behave like others in that group. Okay. There may even be guidelines or a code of conduct for them to follow. Wearing, for example, particular clothes that show group membership. I, as a Manchester United fan, for example, used to don the shirt, for example, when I went to watch United play. And nurses, for example, and they feel that this increases the likelihood that de-individuation will occur. So there's real psychological reasons for why people are perhaps given a uniform or are expected to wear in a group. There are, however, other factors disposition factors even that affect collective behaviour, and one of those is personality. there was a psychologist called Rotter in 1966, good year that, when England won the World Cup. Rotter in 66 said that some people have an internal locus of control, while others have an external locus of control. Internals are people who believe that they can control the things that happen to them, while externals attribute the things that happen to them to factors that are out of their control. For example, if internals did poorly in an assessment, they are likely to say that this was because they had not revised. However, an external would blame the results on poor teaching or other people around them. Now, as you would guess, externals or people, as we say, are more likely to get swept along and subsequently blame others than internal, who feel perhaps they are in more control of the situation. The other that Rotter identified was morality, and this is whether people behave in a pro or anti-social way, or way in collective situations. It does depend deeply on morality. If you have a deep rooted sense of right or wrong, you are less likely to engage in antisocial behaviour, even if there is a huge group acting in an untoward, negative way towards others, because you have a deep-rooted sense of morality of right and wrong. Okay, guys, good luck. If you could, as I say, get those keynotes down, take a picture, send it to your psychology teacher. Thank you so much. Take care.